In the 1930s, America stood still while the world trembled. The Great Depression had scarred the nation. Breadlines stretched across city blocks. Men returned from the Great War with nothing but memories of mud, loss, and broken promises. America turned inward. It built walls of distance, believing the oceans were enough to protect it from the chaos spreading across Europe and Asia. The policy was simple: stay out, stay safe. But history never lets anyone stay safe for long. As Europe burned and Asia fell under invasion, the United States watched from across the water. German tanks thundered through Poland. Japanese bombers rained fire over China. The world was collapsing, and America was the only nation with the potential to stop it, though no one realized it yet. Factories sat silent, unemployment was high, and faith in government was fragile. But war has a strange way of waking nations up. Every explosion overseas became an opportunity. American industry began to stir, feeding the Allies with weapons, supplies, and hope. By 1940, the country was already transforming itself into what President Roosevelt called the arsenal of democracy. While others fought, America built. While others bled, America prepared. Then, on a calm Sunday morning, everything changed. The attack on Pearl Harbor ripped through the illusion of safety. The isolation that once defined America vanished in smoke and fire. In a single day, a sleeping nation became a roaring force. Factories that once made cars began building tanks. Shipyards that once stood idle turned out warships faster than any navy in history. Within a year, the U.S. military grew from a small peacetime force to over 11 million men and women. The machine of democracy had become the machine of war. From the assembly lines came the sound of steel and determination. Women replaced men in factories, their hands forging the tools of victory. Rosie the Riveter wasn't just a poster. She was the face of a movement that kept the nation alive. Detroit produced more aircraft than all Axis powers combined. Pittsburgh forged more steel than Germany, Italy, and Japan together. Every bullet, every ration tin, every plane carried a single message. America was all in. Across the oceans, the tide began to turn. American troops landed on beaches from North Africa to Normandy. In the Pacific, they fought island by island, pushing the Japanese Empire back with brutal persistence. It wasn't just military strength that won these battles. It was the endless supply chain that backed them. No army in history had been fed, armed, and transported on such a scale. The American logistic network became a weapon itself, one the Axis could never match. By 1944, American power stretched across the globe. Its bombers darkened skies over Europe. Its fleets ruled the Pacific. Its economy was unstoppable. For every tank Germany built, America built 10. For every ship Japan launched, America launched 5. The nation that once hid behind oceans now crossed them with ease. When the war finally ended in 1945, the world was a shadow of what it had been. Cities in Europe lay in ruins. Asia was devastated. Millions were dead. But America stood untouched, its factories intact, its economy stronger than ever. The atomic bomb sealed victory, but it also opened a new age. For the first time, humanity understood what ultimate power looked like, and that power rested in American hands. As other nations struggled to rebuild, the United States began shaping the new world. It didn't just win the war, it defined what came next. Through the Marshall Plan, America rebuilt Europe with billions in aid, reviving economies and preventing chaos. The dollar became the world's currency. American companies filled the global market. The United Nations rose with U.S. influence at its core. NATO formed to protect the world from another global disaster, led by American command. In every corner of the world, the stars and stripes stood as a symbol of stability, strength, and leadership. From the rubble of World War II, a superpower was born. America produced half of the world's goods. Its navy sailed every ocean. Its air force ruled the skies. Its culture, its movies, its music, all carried the same message. The age of American leadership had begun. But this transformation wasn't built on arrogance or conquest. It was built on will, the same will that drove farmers to soldiers, workers to engineers, and mothers to welders. The same will that refused to surrender even when the cost was high. WWII didn't change what America was. It revealed what it could be. In the years that followed, America became the blueprint for modern power. Jet engines, nuclear energy, computing, and space exploration all grew from the seeds of wartime innovation. The same factories that once made bombers now made cars, radios, and televisions for a booming middle class. Veterans returned home, built families, and fueled an economic explosion unlike anything in history. Suburbs spread, highways connected cities, and the American dream became a global aspiration. The rest of the world looked to Washington, not Berlin or Tokyo, for guidance. American soldiers became peacekeepers. Its scientists became innovators. Its dollar became the world's foundation. From the ashes of war, America didn't just rise. It took the lead. The Second World War tested the strength of every nation, but only one emerged stronger than when it began. America learned that leadership isn't given. It's earned through sacrifice, courage, and the ability to adapt faster than anyone else. The war forced the United States to face its fears, its doubts, and its limits, and it overcame them all. When people around the world looked for hope, they looked toward the light that came from across the Atlantic. That light was American industry, American resilience, and American belief in freedom. It was the moment America became the heartbeat of a new world order. So when you see the headlines of today, the politics, the power struggles, remember this truth. It all started when a nation decided it would no longer stand aside. When isolation gave way to action. When fear gave way to purpose. That is how the United States went from standing alone to leading the world. If you want to understand the moment when the world's balance shifted forever, stay tuned. Because the story of how America became the global superpower didn't end in 1945. It only began there,